So interest rates have been increasing over the last 12 months. If you have a variable home loan like me, you've been feeling the pain. But on the flip side, interest rates for high interest savings accounts have actually been getting a lot better than they have been in a long time. They're kind of in the 3s, 4s, and almost approaching the 5s. So in this video, I'm gonna go over a number of, I've kind of searched the internet for some of the higher interest paying accounts that you can get. I can't legally recommend any individual one to you, but I'll just give you the facts around which ones pay the highest interest and what kind of hoops will they make you jump through, because there's always hoops, and you can make your own decision from there. And you can obviously consult a financial advisor if you want any more personalized advice. So the first one we're going to go over is the ING Savings Maximiser. So I actually had this account many years ago. Back then I actually had a weekly savings target of $20 a week. Yes, $20, but you gotta start where you gotta start. So this one does an interest rate of 4.55%, and that one does come with a few conditions. It's only up to a balance of $100,000 that will give you that rate. It can only be one account with them that you can do it with, so you can't be cheeky and have multiple accounts hitting that $100,000 threshold. And to qualify for this, you need to make 5 purchases per month that are settled, so it can't be a pending purchase that rolls over into the next month. It has to be fully settled, and you need to deposit $1,000 per month from an external account into one of your ING accounts. And you also need to make sure that you grow your Savings Maximiser balance, so you can't say that you have $1,000 and then you make $100 in interest. You need to add some more balance on top of that. You can't have your balance just not growing, basically, because they want you to keep depositing money so they can go invest it and make higher returns off that money. And just keep in mind that anytime that you meet the criteria for that month, then you'll typically get the benefits in the following month. If it doesn't happen that month, it'll happen in the following month. The next one is the BOQ Future Saver Account. Now this one has 2 stages, so it's 4.75% for the first 50K, and then 3% from 50 to 250K. So this is one of those ones that, if you have a smaller balance, you can get a decent rate there, but it does taper off once you cross that 50K threshold. As with many of these accounts that we're gonna go over, this particular one doesn't have any monthly fees or transaction fees. And basically for the BOQ one, you need to transfer a minimum of $1,000 per month into your everyday account and needing to make 5 transactions. You also can have up to 9 sub accounts as well, and they also have the roundup feature if you want to use that. Next up, we have the AMP Saver Account. So that one is 4.1%, and that variable rate is effective from the 1st of February 2023. At the time of filming, you only had to deposit $250 to qualify for this, but starting from February 2023, you will need to be depositing $1,000. So they have increased that threshold for you to meet that criteria to get the maximum interest. And also, if you hold an eligible super, pension, or investment product with AMP, you will be able to you may be eligible for an extra 0.1% on your interest rate. So you might go from 4.1% to 4.2% if you have one of their existing products. Now there are some terms and conditions, so make sure you check with them, but you do need to have it under the same account, if that makes sense. So you can't have 2 totally separate accounts unrelated to the same. It needs to be part of the same user so that you can get that benefit. Rabo Bank has a pretty strong rate in terms of 4.5%. However, is only for the first 4 months at this point. So you do get a good rate. It is up to 250K. So you can get a decent rate on a large amount, but it's only for a very short period of time. So there's always going to be some sort of catch with a lot of these, and it does revert to a lower rate after that period of 3.25% at this point. And with that one, there is no account fees, there's no minimum balance, and it's actually also available to SMSF customers. So check with your accountant, obviously, for all the details around that, and with the bank as well. Next up, we have UBank. So UBank is a very, very popular bank. They used to be called 86400. They're a bank that does not have any branches, and as a result, they're an online bank, as many people call it. And as a result, they theoretically should be giving you some better rates and better deals. Whether that's all marketing BS, who knows? I'm a bit skeptical of that sort of stuff. UBank has a rate of 4.1%. So they've got a 0.1% base rate, and they have the 4% goes on top if you meet the criteria every single month. So as you can kind of tell with a lot of these accounts, that if you don't put money in, whether it's $250, $500, $1,000, $2,000 a month regularly, so that would typically mean your salary, or you set up an automatic deposit every single month to go into that account, then it can revert back to almost no interest. So just keep that in mind if you are going to take up any of these accounts, that you do need to meet the criteria, otherwise you waste your time, basically. One of the benefits of going with UBank is that they do only have a $200 amount that you need to deposit every single month, and you can have up to 10 sub accounts. So if you have any little sub accounts, maybe for a holiday or for a car, car or wedding or whatever your savings targets are, you can very easily separate those within your main savings account. So that's super handy. You can also set up savings targets for each of those individual sub accounts as well. So it kind of makes it all look nice in the dashboard, so you can sort of track along with your savings goals quite easily. And this higher interest rate will apply to balances up to 250K. One of the things that makes the UBank account unique is that they don't give you penalties if you take money out. Some of these accounts, if you put say 2 grand in, tick the box, but then you try to take it straight back out, that will mean that you do not qualify for the bonus interest and you're basically wasting your time. So keep that in mind with any of these accounts. Clarify their rules around taking money in and out, because obviously these banks, they want to take the money and go invest it. So if you're being unpredictable and taking money in and out, they can't really go and take your money and invest it and make their money. So if they can't make money, they're not going to give you the best rate either. One of the cool things about the UBank account as well is that you can do Pay ID, OSCO, like, instant transfers. You can also pay bills from there. Some of these other accounts may not let you do that, or it might be a bit more of a convoluted process. And you can also have joint accounts for the UBank ones. Next up, we have the Virgin Money Boost account. So that one has a 4.3% rate, which can be boosted up to 4.6% if you take advantage of their lock saver feature, which I'll talk about in a moment. In terms of the criteria, you just have to deposit $2,000 every single month. So once again, that's probably going to be salary or an automated deposit from an external institution. You can have also 9 separate sub accounts in there, like many of the others do. So when you get a Virgin Money Boost account, you automatically get one of those everyday go accounts with that for kind of everyday transactions. They have a rewards program attached to that. So expenses and things that you pay for with the everyday account, you can get rewards for that as well. So the lock saver feature is a feature unique to Virgin. So basically the way it works is you can take your interest rate from 4.3% to 4.6%, but the catch is that you have to, if you want to pull money out, you have to do it through the mobile app typically, and you have to wait 32 days to get that money out. For me personally, I have a home loan, which with an interest rate, unfortunately, over 4.5%. It's about 4.89 at the moment. So for me, I'm better off just putting it in my offset account. I'll be more financially better off than me putting it in a savings account. But obviously you need to make your own decision based on your own sort of situation and what you do and don't have. And keep in mind that the lock saver feature is available to only people over 25 for whatever reason. There is some situations, obviously, if you have extreme hardship, that you can contact them and probably get your money out. But you'd have to probably prove that to some extent before they would be comfortable with that. And I assume that wouldn't be an easy process, because nothing with banks ever is. One other one I did want to mention is the Westpac Life Saver Account. So that one basically is one where it's only for the younger people, so 18 to 29. So I'm out of that group, but basically it's to help young people get ahead. And the way that it works is if you have one of their choice sort of everyday accounts and one of the Life Saver accounts, if you have both of those, they will give you a higher interest rate, and that is 4.35%. Just keep in mind that that is only up to a smaller amount compared to the other accounts of $30,000. So you'll get that 4.35 up to $30,000, and then beyond that, it will drop by 0.6. So that will go down to 3.75 or whatever it works out to be. So it will be good at the start. Once you hit 30K, it will drop down a little bit, but it is what it is. Keep in mind though that there is a $5 monthly fee for the everyday sort of choice account. There is no fee for the Lifesaver account, but you can get the choice monthly fee waived if you meet their criteria. So there you have it. There's a few different interest savings accounts. Hope you found that useful. Really, there's a whole bunch of different options here. It really depends on how much BS you want to go through. Some people would rather take a lower interest rate, but just not have to worry about meeting any criteria every month. Whereas other people are happy to meet any criteria as long as they get the maximum rate possible. You need to make that decision for yourself. For me, as I said, I leave most of my money in my offset account because my interest rate is higher than any of these accounts are. But overall, hope you found that useful. And if you have any questions, comments, accounts that I've missed, or accounts that have changed since the filming of this video, please let me know. I'm always happy to hear. And other than that, I'll see you on the next video.